He thought he was completely alone. There was no one around, no footsteps, no voices, no movement, nothing, just silence. That kind of silence that doesn't feel normal, the kind that feels watched. But he ignored it, at first because nothing actually looked wrong. It was just another night, late, quiet, the kind of night where everything feels slower. He had just finished working. The building was almost empty. Most of the lights were off. Only a few flickering ones remained. The hallway stretched in front of him, long, narrow, and cold. Every step he took echoed, soft at first, then louder, like the walls were repeating it back to him. He stopped walking for a second, just to listen. Nothing. No echo anymore. No sound. Just that same silence again. He exhaled slowly, pulled out his phone. Not for anything important, just something to distract himself, something to break that strange feeling. He opened the camera, looked at the screen, adjusted the angle, half smile, nothing serious, just a random photo, something to send, something meaningless. He held the phone up, paused, for just a second, because something felt off again, like something behind him had changed. Not a sound, not a shadow, just a feeling, stronger this time. He quickly looked over his shoulder. Nothing. Empty hallway. Same as before, same lights, same walls. No one there. He let out a small breath, shook his head slightly. Just your imagination. That's what he told himself. So he turned back around, lifted the phone again, and took the picture. A simple click. That was it. Nothing unusual, nothing strange. Just him. Standing there. Alone. At least, that's what he believed. He didn't even check the photo. He lowered the phone, put it back in his pocket, and started walking again. Slow, casual, trying to ignore that feeling, but it didn't go away. It stayed. Right there, following him, step by step, every movement, every breath, until it became impossible to ignore. He stopped again, this time longer. He didn't turn around. Not yet, because something inside him didn't want to. Like if he looked back, he wouldn't like what he saw. Instead, he reached for his phone again, slowly, carefully, almost like he didn't want to disturb something. He unlocked it, opened the gallery, and found the photo. The one he just took. For a moment, everything looked normal. Just him. The hallway. Empty space behind him. Exactly how he remembered it. He stared at it, waiting for something to feel wrong, but nothing did. So he almost laughed. Almost. Because for a second, he thought he imagined everything. Until he zoomed in, just a little, and then he froze. There was something there, something behind him, a shape, dark, still, almost blending into the background, but not enough. Not enough to ignore. His eyes narrowed, trying to focus, trying to understand what he was looking at, because it didn't make sense. There was no one there. He knew that. He checked, twice, and yet, something was now standing behind him, in the exact place he had been seconds ago. He zoomed in more, closer, closer. The image started to pixelate slightly, but the shape became clearer, taller than him, unnaturally still, not leaning, not shifting, just standing, watching. That's when his stomach dropped, because now there was no doubt that thing was not supposed to be there. His breathing changed, slow at first, then heavier, shorter, uncontrolled. He looked away from the screen for a second, trying to reset, trying to think, then looked back again, hoping it would be gone. It wasn't. Still there, still behind him, exactly where it shouldn't be. And then he noticed something else, something worse. It wasn't just standing there. It was closer, not by much, but enough to notice, enough to feel wrong, like it had moved, between the moment he took the photo and the moment he looked at it. His hand started shaking, because that only meant one thing. That thing was not just in the picture. It was real, and it was moving. He turned slowly, carefully, like if he moved too fast, something terrible would happen. His eyes scanned the hallway behind him. Left, right, nothing. Empty. Exactly like before. No one there, no movement, no sound, just silence. But it didn't feel empty. Not anymore, because now he knew. What he saw in that picture was real, and if it wasn't behind him anymore, then where was it? He swallowed, hard, his throat dry, his chest tight, and for a moment, he didn't move. He couldn't, because something deep inside him was warning him, don't turn again, don't look, don't move. But fear doesn't work like that. It pulls you in, forces you to look, forces you to know. So he slowly lifted his phone again, his hands trembling, unlocked it, opened the photo, and stared. The figure was still there, still behind him, still watching, but something had changed, something subtle, something wrong. Its head was tilted, not straight anymore, not still. Tilted, like it was studying him, observing him, learning him. His breathing got heavier, faster, because now it didn't feel like a mistake. It felt intentional, like it knew he was looking. And then he noticed something else. Its face. Before, it was just a shadow, a shape, something unclear. But now, it was forming. Details appearing, slowly, unnaturally. The eyes, too large, too deep, too empty. The kind of eyes that don't blink, that don't move, that just stare. The mouth, stretching wider, far wider than it should. Not smiling, not human. Something else, something wrong, something that didn't belong in that world. His fingers tightened around the phone, because now there was no explanation, no logic, no excuse. That thing was real, and it was changing. Right in front of him. And then the screen flickered. Just once. A quick flash. He blinked. Looked again. The figure was closer. Not by much, but enough. Enough to feel it. Enough to know. It had moved. His heart started racing. Faster now. Louder. Almost drowning out everything else. He zoomed in again. Closer. Closer. The image distorted slightly, but the face became clearer, more detailed, more real, too real, and then another flicker, stronger this time. The lights above him buzzed softly, the hallway felt colder, and the figure was closer again. Step by step, frame by frame, closing the distance without making a sound, without moving in real life, only in the image. But that didn't make it better. That made it worse. Because it meant it didn't need to move normally. It didn't follow rules. It didn't belong there. And yet, it was coming closer. He quickly zoomed out, then back in, again and again. Each time, closer. Each time, worse, until it was right behind him. So close, its face was almost touching his. He could see everything now, every detail, every distortion, every unnatural feature. And then, the screen went black, instantly. No warning, no transition, just darkness. He froze, his reflection faintly visible on the screen, breathing heavy, eyes wide. Seconds passed, 1, 2, 3, then the camera turned on, front-facing. Suddenly, he was looking at himself, standing in the hallway, exactly where he was, exactly how he felt. But behind him, nothing. Empty. Completely empty. For a split second, he felt relief, like maybe it was over, like maybe it was gone, until he noticed movement. Not behind him. Not anymore. On the side. Close. Too close. He slowly shifted his eyes, not moving his head, just his eyes. And there it was, standing next to him, on the screen, not in the hallway, not in real life, inside the camera, face to face, looking directly at him, not through the lens, at him, like it could see him, like it knew he was there, like it had been waiting. Its smile stretched wider, breaking the shape of its face, unnatural, painful, wrong, and then it moved, fast, violently, its head snapped toward him, mouth opening wider than possible, eyes expanding, filling the screen. The image glitched, hard, violent distortion, sound cutting out, then returning, then cutting again. He dropped the phone. It hit the ground. Hard. The sound echoed through the hallway, sharp, loud, and then silence. Complete silence. No movement, no glitch, no sound, just him, standing there frozen, too afraid to move, too afraid to look down. Seconds passed, maybe longer. Time didn't feel real anymore. Nothing did. But eventually, he forced himself, slowly, carefully. He looked down. The phone was still there, screen on. No distortion, no figure, just the camera, pointing up at him, like nothing had happened, like everything was normal. He hesitated, then bent down, picked it up, hands shaking, heart racing, and looked at the screen. Nothing. Just hi,